And hello, this is me, Samuel Alexander, back again with another poem from Acceptance, the fifth in the I See Things in Blue series. Um, this is another short one. Hopefully they're all like this. In all fairness, on New Year's Day, 1:30 something in the morning, it's like, I know my mom's going to be back. I stopped it because I thought someone was going to be coming home and I wouldn't be able to finish it. And then I was like, oh no, okay. And I think I might have put the other one through, and it turned out that someone was coming out. I'm not even sure. But ultimately, I actually did finish, and I said, I don't know if I'm going to finish Acceptance tonight. Like, I was so tired and low energy. And it turned out when I had just completely, I was just done. I didn't have anything left to give. That I actually was done. It was the last poem, and I didn't even realize I had pushed out so many in, barely 3 hours. Like, just sitting here shouting at my camera. Well, low talking to my camera. So I don't think there's many in here. I think I'll be finished. I know it's a sidebar up, so I'm not really sure. But I know I was surprised. But then again, this book was already long enough to be a hardback. But since I had added a preview and poetry to every other book, I did the same here. So I wasn't as pressed to fill up the space as I was with the other books that were shorter. So that could explain why I got to where it got so quickly. My stomach's growling, y'all. Definitely hungry, definitely tired. At least I managed to get up and brush my teeth, so I feel like I'm adulting pretty well. This should be coffee, but unfortunately, it's just Ovaltine, so it's a low malt beverage, chocolate flavored, blah blah blah. But I'm not buying coffee because it doesn't fit in my promotion budget. So that's what's happening. So all of that talk, we're here now with flushed. I breathe in anguish like oxygen. I don't like that. I breathe in anguish like oxygen. I exhale love like the wind. I digest pain like food and it breaks down into depression that my body uses for nourishment. But all the things that my body needs, like hope, happiness, compassion, and other pleasantries, it cannot digest and use. They are fully excreted, discarded into the bowl of total destruction, and flushed away in a swirl of forgotten dreams, permanently removed to leave me so depressively. Then again, then in again, I breathe. Um, I repeated the first line because in my head it sounded like I said, I breathe in anguish, as in the like some people say, like I breathe in life. Um, and that's what it felt like. I breathe in anguish. But what I wanted was I breathe in anguish like oxygen, not like I'm living in it, like I'm actually physically breathing it in. And it sounded too much like I was saying I'm living in anguish. It felt like that. I breathe in. And so I just reset it. I mean, it was the first line, so it wasn't really that deep. I'm definitely still kind of stuttering a bit, but I'm actively working on low energy and not pushing too hard. But the problem with that is that, like I said a few poems back, is that the easier it becomes and the less I think about what I'm doing, intent, the more it happens because not, I'm not really trying to not make it happen. So it takes a conscious effort. But what I like about this is that Dario genuinely believes that even if the good stuff like hope, happiness, compassion, and other pleasantries get inside him, that his body wouldn't know what to do with it, that he wouldn't know what to do with it, that he would just let it go instead of it growing and festering into something beautiful. And that's pretty much what this poem is about. The endless cycle of believing that you're constantly going to breathe in the worst of the world, and that your situation is beyond fixable. And this is where he starts when he comes into his acceptance, that he doesn't know what to do. This is all he understands and knows. And it opens him up to realize and understands the levels of love, trust, and friendship that he gets from Lewis, Gavin, and Raylan. So a shift happens, but this is where he began. That's why it's so scary to him now that he's decided he doesn't want to be here anymore. So that's why it's here. And I like that it speaks to the process of what we do with information. That's why I started with oxygen, inhale and exhale, and what we put back out into the world. So you breathe in anguish and you exhale the love instead of holding on to it, so that it can become a part of you. And then, when you give it, it won't be like you're just pushing it back out into the air and hoping it lands. You'll be giving it with intent because it is a part of you and not something that you're trying to throw away. And then digesting pain like food that breaks down because it's cold flushed. And so I just said, I'm going to write it about like the digestive system and explain how your body takes things in and uses it and holds on to some but gets rid of others. And that's, it's literally cold flushed. It was intentional. And I think it came out okay. But I feel like it might be slightly deeper to other people than I can give it justice for, because it was an idea to me. I'm going to just take, breathing and regular bodily functions and write it in my usual style, which is, dark and dreary, and see where that takes me. And so more of the same, but different. That's pretty much it as it relates to Dario and as it relates to how I got here before I even chose to put it in this book. When it was just a poem all on its own, flying on its own wings without any real destiny, Yeah. So hopefully, someone gets it on a, personal level and decides, what, I can do better. The next time I breathe, I'm not going to embrace it the way that this poem is embracing it. And we'll do better. So here we are. Again with another poem from my I See Things in Blue series, Acceptance, Book 5. And if you've made it this far, as per usual, thanks for stopping by.